My name is Travis Cosentino, and I live in my van. I've been doing van life for about a year now, and I love it. Chris with Tiny Home Tours, I was following him on Instagram, and he had posted that he was looking for a videographer and an editor, and I reached out to him. Working for Tiny Home Tours is probably one of the best jobs I've ever had, simply because of the opportunity that I get to meet so many like-minded people like myself. I got into van life because I wanted to travel. I needed to see my country. I needed to meet people on the road. I needed to have those experiences that I was seeing on Instagram, that I was seeing on YouTube. I knew that this was something that I wanted to do for myself. Working for Tiny Home Tours allowed me that opportunity. It allowed me to be part of that community. I love meeting the people. It's cool to see the builds and to see all the different things that people do, but that's not really my bag. For me, it's about meeting the people. It's about interviewing them. It's about getting to know their stories and getting to them to speak from their hearts, speak from their personal experiences. That to me is my bread and butter. What the f***? This kid is driving me crazy. What's up, gang? My name is Travis Cosentino. This is Creeper, which is a 1994 GMC Rally STX 5.7 liter V8. Up top here, I've got 400 watts of solar power. I basically can run my fan, I can run my refrigerator, I can run my laptop all day long as I'm underneath the sun, and I'll never run out of juice. It's pretty awesome. So right here is my max fan. I actually scored, I got really lucky with this. I originally bought the standard edition on eBay. I don't remember what I paid for it, but it was, the basic standard price. And when he sent it to me, it was white, and I was like, no, I wanted black, but I didn't have the option for that. So he sent me the black one, but it was the best version with the remote and everything, and he didn't know it. And I sent him back the old one, and I said, you sent me the wrong one, and he said, yeah, just keep it. So I scored that. How awesome is that? All right, welcome to the inside. This is the captain's quarters. Everything obviously is very standard here. When I first bought the van, there were a lot of major internal issues with the van. I spent thousands of dollars, and I mean thousands of dollars, fixing it. It was an absolute nightmare. I highly recommend anybody who is in a vehicle and does a lot of traveling, you just never know what can happen. And the ability to be able to break out of a window and cut yourself out of that seatbelt, you want to have that right there, right next to where you are. Looking right here, I have my refrigerator. There's not a lot of space in this van. This really was the best spot for it. And then of course I have my cup holders and things like that. It's just a really great little setup. This was like $10, $15 on Amazon. This is a Costway refrigerator. It's a 24 quart. I keep all my food in here, not all of it. I do have some dry storage, but perishables all go in here. I've got my salads, all my fruits and veggies. I eat tuna. I'm a pescatarian. It's the only thing I do eat. So yeah, everything's perfect in here. I can keep fruit in here if I want, which is perfect. And I love the fact that I can have cold water when I want it. It's really the perfect setup for van life. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look inside. So first thing is storage. Again, right here. This is where I keep all of my shoes. All my shoes are stored in this little thing. I've had this thing for years, literally years. It's just been so versatile. So a lot of times I'll use it for like a table on one side. I do sit at it, change my shoes. I also keep my jack in here. So a lot of tools are in here. I've got an emergency kit. So it's a great spot for things that I need to get to right away. Right here is actually my desk. So I just flip this thing out, and I put my laptop and my mouse right on top of it when I'm at my bed, and I just do all my work right here. So this is really probably one of my favorite things about van life, is the fact that I can work in my van right at the beach with that cool breeze blowing in. Can't beat it. It's the life. Highly recommend that lifestyle. So there's this. Of course, this is my trash can. Perfect spot for it. I can get to it through my curtains, which I have magnets for, which is great to keep them closed, and it's great for privacy as well. And I've just got them stringed up on this wire here, no big deal. And I can get to it right away. Moving on to the kitchen. I know it's tight, obviously, but I've got all my spices right here. I just found these little wine racks, and I cut it in half and I mounted it to the thing. Paper towel rack. This was in my original kitchen. I just glued it right to my my table so that I could have all of my silverware and everything all in one spot, easy to get to. This piece here was a craftsman's table that I purchased from Home Depot for about 35 bucks. It was relatively inexpensive. So this is my sink. It's a small Hauser sink that I purchased on eBay. I don't remember how much I got it for, but it's also attached. If you see right here, I have a foot pump. It does all of my water pumping. You look in here, down below, I have a 5-gallon tank here, and I have another 5-gallon tank back there. Over here, I've got a 7-gallon tank, and this is my gray tank. This is what catches the water. Here, I keep all of my dry storage, my plates, and then in here, I keep all of my pots, my pans, my cookware, my stove. Back up top here, I have my tea. So I have my tea, my kettle, and my little owl. I like owls, if you hadn't noticed. Over here is, I do obviously, I do my bathrooms things. So I do all my shaving, and I brush my teeth right here at the sink. This is a great little setup for that. It just, pulls right out, pulls right back in. I didn't want it banging up against the wood, so I installed these little rubber mats right here so that it wouldn't break the mirror while I was driving, all about safety. And then of course, over here I have a CO2 carbon monoxide reader, just in case, you never know. I'd rather be safe than sorry. I've had plenty of situations with that with this old van, so I recommend definitely having one of those. One of the things that was really important to me is that I had a bathroom. I think I spent like 50, 60 bucks on Amazon. I do a lot of my shopping on Amazon. This thing is awesome. I do have to empty it out pretty regularly, but it's become kind of part of my regular daily activities that I do. I have a system that I do every day. I wake up, I make my bed, I empty out my toilet, I empty out the trash, and I recycle the water bottles through my refrigerator. You have to have a safe. Don't do van life without a safe. It's stupid. Get a safe. It is absolutely worth it. Don't get the cheap, flimsy little black small ones. Get a big, thick one, something that's gonna make a difference, and bolt it to the frame like I did. That way, they're not taking this. This right here is probably one of my favorite features, is this mason jar light system that I installed. I saw something like this on Amazon, and I was like, that's what I'm gonna do. I knew exactly where I was gonna put it and how I was gonna install it, drilled a hole through both of them, and I just wired up on one side, wired up on the other side, ran it down into here where I've got some plugins, which is all hooked up to my solar on the other side, and I'll show you that later. It comes with this remote, and I can obviously turn it off, turn it on, but I can also adjust the settings of how much power it gives out. So at night, I can have this to the lowest setting, and it doesn't really, people don't notice that I'm in there. It's really, really low. It's kind of like having a night light. But then when I need to see things, I turn it up pretty bright, and it works out really great. So I love having this little, and I have a little magnet that I just glued onto it, and I just put it right here. This is just a standard full size mattress. It's pretty comfy. I did have a topper, like a little Tempur-Pedic topper on it, and it was even better, but unfortunately it just didn't work out for my build, so I just had to keep this, and I've adjusted to it. Over here is where I have all of my stuff. I knew when I was building this out, I was like, I've got to have shelves, I've got to have a place to put my, the things that I use on a regular basis. Obviously my clothes surprisingly took up a huge amount of space. When I designed this, I didn't have these all picked out. I didn't know how things were gonna work out, how they were gonna fit. It just kind of worked out. It took me a few days to find the right size to fit in the space perfectly, but I totally found it. It absolutely worked out. I definitely recommend putting your clothes in something like this, because there are bugs that eat your clothes, and you don't want that. Van life is all about being frugal and saving your money. You don't want to spend it on dumb shit. So put it in here, keep it organized, keep it where you need it. In between here, I keep all of my chargers. So like if I want to charge my batteries for my cameras or my drone or anything like that, it's all kind of right here. I've got my winter clothes here, all of my clothes that I wear on a regular basis here, my pants, which I pretty much never wear out here, which is awesome. That's the great thing about living on the beach, is you almost never need them. I've got my journal up here. I actually was able to have some nostalgic things that meant something to me. And this right here is what used to be kind of like a Game Boy, before Game Boys. Before they had Game Boys, they did have handheld games, and unfortunately it doesn't work anymore. But I used to play with this, and this was a race car game. The lights would light up at green, and then you would hit the gas and change the gears, hit the gas, and try to do as fast as possible, and then it would give you a time at how fast you did it. This was awesome back in the day. This is true gamer right here. This guy. I highly recommend having some kind of junk drawer, a place to keep stuff. Things that you need but you don't need right away. So I have like just stuff that I need, things that I need to get to but I don't use on a regular basis. Totally recommend having a junk drawer. So these things right here, these are what I use to cover up my windows. So they're just some fabric. The original person I bought this van from, his girlfriend made these. I didn't make these, but she did a great job. She installed these little magnets all on the edges, and it's just, cotton. It's not anything special, but it absolutely works. I love the idea that with lithium, you can run the battery down to 0 and then recharge it back up again, which I've had happen. I end up using my laptop all day long with my fan running, the refrigerator, and then by the end of the night, I'm out of juice. But sure enough, it refilled right back up again, and I had no problem. So it really is the way to go, and I definitely recommend going lithium for your build. Over here is where, when I'm driving, I like to be able to check my power. So this little setup right here, which comes with it, is just great for seeing how much power is going in, how much power is drawing out. And then I also have this little temperature gauge right here. And then right here I have my fan, which I use pretty regularly when I'm on the road, especially if I'm parked at like a grocery store and I want to keep my fan circulating air and keeping it cool. This is totally the way to go. So I keep all of my storage in the back. It's basically like my garage. I have all of my gear. I had to have my bed up this high. I originally was looking at something a little bit lower so that I had more comfort up top, but it just wasn't a possibility with all the gear that I have. Over here to the right, if you can see, I keep all of my tools. All of the things that I need to get to are really right over here. And then to my left, over here, this is where I keep my dirty laundry. So I've just got this little catch thing here, and I put a little trash can lid up top, and that works awesome. I don't have any funk, which is perfect. Over here, I had to have a library. Obviously, I do a lot of reading. You're gonna find you're gonna be doing a lot of reading when you're in van life. But one of the things that I have that's really important to me is my mobile workout unit. Now, this is 45-pound weight, pretty heavy, but it actually has some nostalgia to it. When I worked for Dylan McGaster, he gave this to me, and it's just been a memento, and I just had to keep it with me. Being at the beach, you don't have lockers to lock your things up in, and I didn't want to I just didn't have really any options to go surfing or swimming and leave all my stuff at the beach for somebody to swipe up and take. So I found this safe online on Amazon.com. It's called a trail hitch safe, and so I can put all my keys and my credit cards and whatever I need is right here. I've got backup keys. It's all right here, and it's under a code. This is not coming out. You can't get to this. It's locked from the inside. This is probably one of my favorite features or add-ons to the van. Van life is connection. I got into this life because I wanted to meet people. I would not be where I am today if it weren't for the people that I met on the road. These people have come through for me in ways that I could have never imagined, and I am eternally grateful for. That to me is my bread and butter. That's what I get the most out of it, is just kind of learning their personal story and then telling it. And believe it or not, people have some pretty epic stories. So I sit in a lot of traffic, more traffic than I'd like, but it's part of the gig. I get to be on open roads, I get to see beautiful sunsets, beautiful beaches, beautiful mountains, beautiful Bigfoots. I get to see everything. I've been to lots of events like RTR and Schoolypalooza and Tiny House Fest. I travel all over the state for that so that I can do tiny home tours and also meet awesome people along the way. I'm always climbing on things and kind of like a kid. I'm always playing around doing dumb shit. You have to remember to be a big kid and do silly shit because, well, that's life, man. You can't always be serious. You can't always be hustling and working. That's not why I got into this. I'm not doing this to work all the time. I'm doing this because I want to be free. I want to inspire more of you to follow your dream, to get that band, to get that schooling, to get whatever it is that you want to get. I want to inspire you. I want you to be a part of this community because it's an ever expanding and ever growing community, and we're only getting bigger. If I was here at night and by myself in the dark, I would be afraid of the trees. And, oh, she's nice. It's a giant rock. I don't know what it is though.